Hi, I'm Ed Tinker, and this is my friend Ed. And we were just discussing about condition issues and what's acceptable and what's not. Because he said something funny. We were talking, and really, he's got what is that, a 1900, an FN 1900? And
FN
the grip is
1900.
broken. And is it okay to replace it? To me, it's up to an individual collector. I've always kind of felt like if you keep the original parts, and if you're not trying, I would tell somebody I've changed the grips because on Luger grips, they're not always numbered. It's a
No,
funny thing. What do you think about it, Ed?
it. I posted this on the still site, and one of the in fact, well, I'm not going to go for it now, but one of the posters said, we know, Ed, that you would never violate the integrity of this weapon by putting a new grip on it.
Yep.
And it really, it frankly, it made me think, I said, I could, because obviously you see something broken, you want to fix it. And I thought about it and I said, it's a nice thing to say, but it's also the truth there is you don't want to, it's telling me a story. And it's not it's not there as an exemplar in a museum. It's talking to me, Ed. Do I really want to alter it? And I thought, no, I'm not. I mean, you can see it's still
Sure.
broken. And, if some collector in the far future, hopefully, wants to modify it, it's fine. It belongs to them. They can do what they want.
Yeah.
Um, it's the same
In
thing. I mean,
in
I find with,
most in I was just gonna
I'm
say in
sorry.
most collecting, coin collecting, I mean, just cleaning the coins ruins
Oh,
the
no.
value down to if we're talking
Yeah.
about a silver dollar. But and then there's other stuff like silver, like if you have a teapot set from the 1800s,
Hmm.
people want you to be keeping those shiny, which of course takes away the detail. But so in a car, 1966 Mustang, people would rather it be fixed up than not be rotten looking. It's really there's pretty much um, condition is everything in collecting, and original is everything. So I mean, I agree with that. I just do. I do.
Yeah. And I can see that. I mean, with a coin somehow, it's like I have a separate reality for certain things. A coin, you're right. I mean, if I were collecting American coins, I would want the best BU, right? Bound uncirculated. Is that the right terminology? I mean, that's what I would want. When it comes to Lugers or, firearms, um, you see, if it's a fairly modern firearm, and there are many of them, many, 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 I would want condition, condition, condition. But here, I mean, I've got a reverse N Luger that I just got, which everyone will be hearing about in so much detail their little eyeballs will bleed. But I mean, it's obviously been refinished. It ain't perfect. You take it apart, you can see the wear and so on and so forth. But that's the nature of that gun. I mean, that is the story that gun is telling. It's saying I went through all this. Um, I wish I could, get one of my police Lugers, which your expertise. But the thing was issued in 1917, and it's got the name of the regiment. You look up the regiment, and the regiment was decimated at a battle, and obviously, somebody picked it up. It got recirculated, and make a long story short, here we are. It was issued in the 50s to the communist state in Germany, and
Right.
now it's here out in America, and it's got a U.S. import mark.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
that's the story. And yeah, I like pristine Lugers, but that is something that is more intimate. It's intimate. That's what it is. it's an intimate discussion.
Yeah. Well, it's like you said earlier. If it has the import mark and such, that's a lot of collectors hate that. But it also means that it was used, and
That's
something
right.
that's
Yep.
in pristine condition means it sat in a drawer or something.
Right. And I mean, I've got some Mao. I also, I also, here's a surprise. I also collect Mauser pistols, and I've got a couple of them that clearly the gal who bought the thing back in 1912 put it in his sock drawer, and it stayed there. And
Yeah,
then he died, and his kids said, "Oh, a gun." Put it in his sock drawer. And so it is until, I bought the thing, and it's perfect. I mean, I make the point in something I had written that, some of these guns, if you were buying a brand new firearm at a gun store and you saw something in this condition, you wouldn't hesitate. You'd say it's brand new.
sure.
But
Yeah,
that's different. I mean, I don't see, I don't think of a 1910 Mauser as having a history.
yeah,
Maybe that, I mean, though they certainly do, but the examples that I've got that I value, of course, is the VL&D pistols too, which is another long story.
sure.
Um,
Now,
that's
let's say Lugers, because we both know them real well. Um, Things to me, consumable. I was trying to think of the right word. Firing pins, grips. I
Yep.
mean, the armorer, of course, he just wanted a working gun for in the unit. But
Yep.
if you swap out the firing pin, I mean, it's a fine line of what do you consider wrong and what do you consider not wrong. And then there's people who say, I keep all the parts together, and so it'll always go with the gun. Um,
That's good for
I
one
don't know.
sale. Well, but I mean, I bought a Luger, and show the this is the takedown lever right here, and
Yeah,
it's held in by a little tiny spring. You might be able to, yeah, the little dot below it, above it,
yeah,
is the spring. I got this Luger, and the damn thing fell out. And I said,
sure.
"Oh my God, no sp I replaced the spring."
Yeah,
Now, is the spring any different than the grips? Well, the grips are
cor-
bigger. Well, okay. I mean,
exactly.
I mean, a Jesuit
Yeah,
would have to hide with an argument like that. I mean,
yeah.
it's the same. And if you don't tell
And boy,
anybody,
everybody has an opinion, don't they? I mean, people get really
yeah,
stuck on an issue.
yeah. Well, yeah, and the good news is you find somebody that has the contrary opinion to you, and then you make them a low ball offer for the gun he's got, right?
Right.
But you're right. I mean, it's the thing that the reason I really was looking forward to having this conversation is there are a lot of new collectors, I think, that are beguiled by the look and the condition of a gun. And, they probably, I just think it's an impediment to beginning a collection, worrying too much about it. If you
I
come
agree.
across something that's great,
Yeah,
wonderful. Granddad had a look great, wonderful. But if you want, I mean, my first Luger collecting, I collected a run of Lugers from well, the first issue, we can get into it as a separate topic. But, let's say 1910 through 1918, DWM. I wanted
sure.
that. And I didn't really care terribly about the condition. I cared more about telling the story of World War One, really. I mean,
Right.
and but that was that if I would have been a slave to condition, I might still be collecting those, and might be the extent of my collection.
Yeah. I like if I come across something that fills a gap, then I'm not worried about condition as much. It depends on the price and everything, but yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's better to have a import marked 1910 that's in nice shape, decent shape, rather than not having one at all, you know?
Yes. Yep. Yep. And yeah, and I think again, now when I say condition, I don't mean something that was run over by a tank. I mean, I'm
Right.
talking about, I mean holster wear or muzzle wear from a holster or the grip from handling being smoothed a bit, the high points being rubbed. That's honest wear. If you
Sure.
have something that's damaged, in other words, it damaged, that's a different. I view that differently, you know.
Sure.
But
Well, and earlier we were talking about Jerry repairing holsters and such, and
Mhm.
he would tell me, he said it's better to have a holster fixed than to have it ruined, or with the belt loops not working or something like that. But
Yeah,
Jerry would fix it really well, where he went through the holes that were originally there, which is pretty amazing to me.
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't do that. I don't have the patience.
No, no, no. And I have a Revolver holster that was modified for the first issue Luger, and it it's got honest wear. I mean, the stitching here and there is loose. There's a pad on the bottom, with the bottom that's half sort of, I mean, if the thing were literally falling apart, I would have it repaired or I'd do it, I mean, do something to maintain it. But the way it is, I put a little leather protector on it and that's it,
Yes,
you
me
know.
too. And
And
I had a original the Test Trials Luger holster from Rock Island, and the bottom hit the where it comes down, it looks
yep,
like it had been chewed off. And I sent it to Jerry, and he shortened it up a little bit and put a piece of. And to me, he was fixing it because it needed fixing, but still, like everything else, you want to. If you're a collector, you generally want the best,
you know.
the best you can get.
I mean, back in the day when they were doing art restoration, I mean, they would restore it. So if it looked like this, and we'll paint it and we'll make it look the way it was 400 years ago. And that whole area of art restoration now has changed, and they don't do anything that can't be reversed.
Right. Yeah. We were just
And
watching a show last night on that, so that's interesting.
yeah, I mean, and it's a different mindset than back, you know, a generation or two generations ago. And I think that that's sort of I prefer that way of thinking. I mean, so going back to my little FN here, I could see putting a replacement grip on it, keeping the other one. So if I wanted to put it back, I could. But on the other hand, this is for me. I mean, you're the first person I've shown this to. Well,
Sure.
I put it on the website, but I don't have dinner parties and say, "Hey, look at my FN." Look at the. I mean, so that authenticity is for me, not for
Right.
you. You know, and I think that also, but all of this is so idiosyncratic. You know, I mean,
Yeah. Funny
we
stuff.
I think of it one way, you think of it another way. And everybody's got their own perspective on it. Um, I'm not, my concern about it is, I guess I have two concerns. I voiced the one about the new collectors, but the other one is this is more from the art historian, art restoration perspective, taking a gun like this and saying, well, you know what? Why stop at the grip? I can
Right.
reblue this. I can, I mean, I can make, I can. I can run a swage thing down the barrel. I can sharpen up those lands and I can make it look brand new.
Right.
And that's a very almost Victorian kind of
Yeah.
approach to these.
I've
But
known collectors that they seem all of their stuff seems very nice, and it just makes me shake my head because I mean, I there are collectors that have some nice stuff, but there are collectors I know that just like pretty, and that leads down a path of always looking for the nicest, and knowledge is everything. I always say that, but knowledge is everything.
and you can get the nicest. To make it the nicest is different.
Yes, yes, exactly.
And yeah, I mean, I've seen some lovely pistols at shows down here in Florida where clearly somebody, I mean, the extreme example is what I have termed El Luger Magnifico, my chrome and gold Luger. So, if somebody thought this was a great idea, and I mean, it's a caricature now. I mean, I got
Yeah,
pearlite grips. I mean, why not go all the way?
just a minute.
But
I,
yeah,
I don't. I, I
exactly.
I think everybody should have a chromed Luger, but
Can I
when
get
I
it?
was,
I can get it. I'm gonna go get
yeah.
it. Wait 1 second.
So when I went to a gun show. I'll repeat it for him, but I was at a gun show and a guy came up walking past me, and I saw he had a Luger. So I go, "Oh, it's a Luger," and he shows me, and it was a chromed Luger that he said was from the Navy, which of course is not true. And he said he paid 2,500 for it, and this was telling a story about the chrome Luger, and the guy said it was a Navy. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Look at that.
That is a nice Navy.
Pearlite,
Yeah.
pearlite grips. I got pearlite bottom for the magazine, golden highlights.
It's a
I
little bit
mean,
shiny.
it's shiny. I mean, who wouldn't want this? My God. And somebody thought that was a good idea.
Exactly.
You know,
I've
and
got a Simpson that's unit marked, which is rare and unusual, and somebody had chromed it. So, nickel or chrome, it's kind of hard to tell at times.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's right. And I just realized not only did they do all this stuff, they they replaced the back with an adjustable like a Navy sight.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I
that's
mean,
why I
it's
said,
a
oh, it looks like a Navy for sure because of the sight.
yeah,
Oh.
it's
Mhm.
but that is like the ultimate kind of oh, you could have turned the thing on again. You could have
What?
recorded.
Oh, we're still recording.
Oh, we are. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
We have about
Um,
less than 5 minutes
okay.
before it turns off automatically.
Yeah. Anyway, but I think the you can go to an extreme, but when it's a caricature like this becomes a collectible. This becomes collectible. I mean, if I
Yeah.
saw another Chrome Luger, I mean, cheap, it would have to be real cheap. I'd probably buy it.
It all depends. I'm like you. I don't mind a good deal. I don't mind something that's wrong. And I know collectors that they just won't buy anything like that. And I think they're kind of missing out. But to me, you can't take life too serious. You need to know what you're buying. That's for sure. But
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you would have to be pretty out of it to not know that there's a problem with this. But on the other thing is this. I mean, I'll go out and shoot this without any guilt at all. You
exactly.
know,
Yeah.
this uh, there
Well,
was a
like you
video.
talked about I have a 1902 carbine up here, but it had to be restored, not quite the correct term, but its barrel was cut off and that had to be replaced. And I don't mind shooting it, but that's because I know what it's worth. It's not worth, like you said, you got one for a good deal for 6,000. I've only got 3 or 4,000 into that probably. You just shouldn't really be shooting collectibles unless you can
No.
afford to break a matching grip and make the value go down.
There was a video which I actually had the foresight to copy from YouTube. Some guy had, I forget, a Steyr pistol of 1902, and he was doing a video shooting it, and his girlfriend was doing the recording. And he says, "Well, this is a blah, 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 and I'm going to load it." And he loads it with a strip of clip, and he goes, "Okay," and he goes, "Bang," and he goes, "Bang," and then he goes, "Click," and she caught all of it, and he's looking at it. He opens it up, and he goes, and the look on his face was so sad. Oh my God, I broke a spring. I said, "Oh, good. You can find one of those. Go, call up Bud Number Charms."
Yeah,
And I mean, it was just so pathetic, and I felt for the guy, but and they posted it. I mean, it
yeah,
was like, and that to me, if it's something, there are some guns I would not shoot. I just wouldn't shoot them because I wouldn't risk damage. Then there are those in the middle that I might shoot once or twice just to say to myself I shot it.
exactly.
Then there's El Luga Magnifico, which you cannot kill.
No, it's I have broke two breech blocks, but they were both older guns, shooters. They were already shooters, and both of them. One it just obviously blew out. The other one was a 16-inch carbine, which is difficult to try to get them to work right. And
Yeah.
I used something that was just a little bit too hot and it blew it out. So it's just you have to be willing
I
to take
got
the
a
damage if you're going to shoot them. You know.
I got a friend, a fellow who is now unfortunately a little bit under the weather, but I used to go to the gun show and I would always look for a shooter Luger. And he would say, "Ed, look what I got for you." And I'd look at it and what's the price? 1,500, 1,800, a decent price. And I'd look at it and say, it's rough, perfect. I'd get it home, I'd do some research, I'd say, "Oh no, it's got a regimental mark. It is perfectly matched. I mean, A, B, C, D, E, F, G." And I say, "Oh my God, this was a police Luger at one time, but they removed." So I put together the story. It was no longer a shooter,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
know,
this is a shooter.
I call them low level collecting. And I've
Yeah,
got several pieces like that. I've got some very rare stuff, but it's
yeah.
sometimes that's what you find, and it's good too. I think we're just about out of time, Ed.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, good to
Again,
talk to you again.
good talk
All
to you.
right, you take care.
You too.
Bye
Bye
now.
bye.